Have you ever tried using a new website or application but just struggled to understand how it works or even operates? We all know it can be very frustrating, and while that confusion can be blamed on poor UI UX design, it's possible the struggles are due to a lack of proper usability testing during the design process. A general definition of usability testing is when a researcher, designer, or whoever is creating a product asks a participant to perform tasks using a specific user interface. The researcher then observes their behaviors and listens to their feedback. But why exactly is usability testing so important? Let us dive in. Usability testing is a method used to evaluate how easy and intuitive a product is to use. The goal is simple: to make the product as user friendly as possible. So, how do you use this research method? Usability testing is straightforward and can be conducted in 5 simple steps. First, plan your test. Decide what you want to learn. Is navigating the user interface easy? Is the content displayed clearly? Are the colors contrasting one another? Remember, poor planning leads to poor performance. Try saying that 5 times. Second, create your scenarios and tasks. Develop realistic scenarios that guide users to perform specific tasks using your product. Make sure they are clear and easy to understand. Next, recruit participants. Choose a small group of people who represent the target audience of your product. However, it doesn't hurt choosing a few people outside of that target audience too. Sometimes, testers who lie outside of your target audience can provide valuable perspectives and feedback on design. Next, conduct the test. As the participants complete the tasks, observe their behaviors and ask for feedback. Remind your participants to be vocal on every single step they take. And finally, analyze your results. Go through the data, look at the transcripts, identify patterns, issues, and areas of improvement. Remember, usability testing is great for capturing qualitative and quantitative data. These types of data depend on how you structured the testing tasks. When should we use usability testing in the design process? Early. Always start as early as you can. It doesn't hurt to test during different stages of the design process. Test with low fidelity prototypes to catch big issues before investing more time and resources into your product. Then, test using medium fidelity prototypes and improve the product based on user feedback. And finally, conduct usability tests using the final design to ensure the product is ready for launch with no UI UX flaws. Now, let's run a quick usability test demonstration. Our scenario will be you, as a Carleton student, who needs to print out your proof of enrollment certificate. Where would you find it? Did you find the certificate link? No? Well, we couldn't either. This is where the certificate can be found. From this small test, we can determine that finding specific links cannot be done in the short amount of time, so the product could use improvements. A short solution, without the much needed website redesign, would be to simply add a search bar to help navigation. But of course, no method is perfect, and as many advantages that we've seen today for usability testing, it also comes with its disadvantages. Let's quickly look at some pros and some cons. Some pros? It helps identify problems early, especially since fixing issues in the design phase is much cheaper than after you launch. It gives a lot of user-centered insight. Direct feedback from real users means you're building a product that truly meets their needs. And finally, it helps improve user satisfaction. Remember, a user-friendly product equals happy customers. But what exactly can be seen as a disadvantage while using this method? Well, for one, it can be time-consuming. Planning, conducting, and analyzing usability tests can be very lengthy. It has a small sample size, as it's often conducted with a small number of participants, and they might not always represent every single user. It can also be really costly, especially if you're conducting tests frequently throughout the entire design process. But now, let's take a look at a brief case study to show how powerful usability testing can be. Imagine a company developing a new mobile app for online shopping. During usability testing, participants struggled to find the Add to Cart button because it was too small and blended in with the background. After observing this, the team made the button larger and used a contrasting color. The result? The numbers of users successfully completing their purchase increased by 30%. It's encouraged that you should try conducting one or more usability tests on your next project. Ask a friend or colleague to test your design, observe their interactions, and gather their feedback. Remember, usability testing is all about understanding your users and improving their experience. So next time you're working on a product, think usability. Thanks for listening, and happy usability testing.